beginning of the destruction. If you remember who cloned Tyrone, Tyrone actually was a nigga who lived in South Central, who was looking like somebody who got programmed by NWA. You understand? Because that's where the cloning shit started. That's where that program started. That's where that program that turned Glenn into that motherfucking city that it was, of people who looked like niggas from LA, who was doing shit like niggas from those NWA and niggas from LA that they listened to on their radio and whatnot, sponsored by Universal and Sony and all of these multi-billion-dollar corporations who are fashioning your reality based off of your sound frequencies because they know the power of the music and those $1 million videos that they were funding and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like Menace Society, South Central, Colors, Boys in the Hood, Juice. You know what I mean? Blow, Fresh. You know, y'all can name some of them. You know,
the whole beat
Brooklyn,
series,
Crooklyn, Straps.
Right.
We got a whole bunch of shit to program us, but they've been cloning us, Tyrone. They've been giving us the poison food. They've been giving us poison through the music. They've been giving us poison through the images of who both we are. They've been poisoning us with the falsehoods that they've been feeding us in school, with the lies that they've been telling us, inoculating us with these poisons and things of that nature. Damn near everything that's being done to us is being done against us. So all I'm saying is, and I've seen the cloning process of when they basically put $1 million behind a certain sound or a certain archetype or a certain frequency, like Sexy Red, like NWA when Ice Cube left, because I have to always put on record. I'm talking about the NWA when Ice Cube left. Professor Greff knows what I mean. I'm talking about the reason why NWA was such a catalyst to say that that's where the destruction started is because they went from a street knowledge rap group from the West Coast who were more leaning towards what Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton was talking about with the bastards of the party. They were more so leaning towards a West Coast Public Enemy. But then when Ice Cube left and he made No Vaseline and he publicly put it out there that they were under the control of the small hats and interests that were outside of our quote unquote community's interests, and he raised the red flag, nobody paid attention. And then they got funded to the tune of millions upon millions of dollars by secret investors, the same investors that were at that meeting that Crazy Bone was talking about when they said in 91 that they were going to declare war on conscious hip hop. They were going to declare war on the upward mobility of our people, that we were using the culture to pick ourselves up. And they had a problem with that. And they made a meeting to sit down to say, we're going to invest in the prisons and we're going to turn this shit up. We're going to 10x this Bitcoin. And that's what they did. Whew. That's what they did. They ran up the stocks on these niggas and we sat back and we're just figuring out what happened to our people. But them people is culprits and they have to be called out for what they did.
Right, because their relatives and the co-conspirators in that are the lawyers who make these 85-page contracts. And on page 79, last paragraph is your insurance policy.
Yes.
So you're worth more to them dead.
Dead. Right. They call it key person insurance, I believe it is.
Yes.
You know, they take out an insurance policy, and if you are the breadwinner for the company and you get clipped, they get paid, right, every single day based off of how much you were being paid to get booked to rap. That's how Biggie Small's mother, go and look up the lawsuit that she had against LA. She was about to bankrupt LA. Do you know about that lawsuit, Professor Griff?
No, not at all.
With Valletta Smalls, where she proved in a civil lawsuit that the LAPD was responsible for Biggie's death. Come on, this is part of the research.
Yeah.
Right? So this was around 2017. This was actually the case that started getting a lot of people clipped. So the reason why she was able to get $500 million in a civil lawsuit is because when she sued, she was able to get compensated for every single day that Biggie would have been alive, and he would have been able to perform based off of the asking rate of him as an artist the day that he got clipped. I believe the shit was about 500 bands.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You feel me? So that's the type of things that they bank on when they sign you to your labels.